Good afternoon everyone, thank you for letting me present to you through video link. So firstly today I'll give a brief overview of the progression of this issue. I'll then move on to identify key publics involved and I will provide strategic recommendations and outline the actions we need to take to address each stakeholder group. But I guess the overarching concept I'll be focusing on is restoring a positive image and reputation for Australia Post and also rebuilding relationships with our stakeholders. So this issue started back in June, and as it progresses, it is getting worse, and there are further issues that are contributing to its severity. Some of the key contributing factors are displayed. What we're seeing as this issue progresses is fear amongst our employees, and that's where trust really comes into play here. We'll be working towards restoring that trust. So we'll now move on to talk about the key stakeholders and the strategic approach most suitable for dealing with each group. We'll be focusing on these three. So firstly, employees and unions. To address this issue effectively, we need to change the opinions of our stakeholders. However, this change will not happen overnight. If we can find compromise to accommodate the issue, we will see a shift in opinion over time. The strategic approach we will use to promote this change is bridging. The bridging response allows us to recognise the issue, adapt our operations, and actively communicate with employees and union groups. As outlined in the brief, we need to humanise our response and draw on some ethical guidelines. So an example of successful bridging is the Toyota case study. So quotes like this depict remorsefulness and support. In this specific case, unions then had no choice but to aim their critique at the recession and could not justifiably attack Toyota. So by issuing an apology and down the track showing more sensitivity, we can sustain mutually beneficial relationships. So these are the tactics that we will use to address employees and unions. The tools will work on closing the gap by providing information and identifying our position. The most important thing here is that we maintain transparent communication and engage with our employees. So lastly, we have the government, and we'll be using an advocacy strategy and will attempt to garner some support and confirm government opinions. Advocacy will ensure we communicate that we are standing by our decision and that it is 100% necessary if we're going to continue to operate. And so these are the tactics that we will use to support this strategy. They're basically providing opinion leaders with information, and they're also aiming to persuade. We need the government to have more of an influence in the issue and to partake in some open communication with the media and act in our defence. So just a quick recap of what I've gone over today: the progression of the issue, key publics, and strategic recommendations. And through the use of these strategies, we will engage with those who are affected and restore mutually beneficial relationships while upholding our notable reputation. Thank you for your time.